Guys, in chapter 4, my book, Who God Says I Am, I talk about becoming a cycle breaker. I just had to stop responding to everything out of anxiety or stop jumping into situations without thinking and stop reacting to everything so fast. That was a project for me. That was not easy. I used to be a commercial bill collector, and so as a collector, you respond fast, you fix fast, and you move on. Well, as an entrepreneur, you can't do that with your clients. And you can't be answer quickly and then fast and short and then, be defensive. I wasn't thinking, and it was causing frustration for my clients. I was mirroring their frustration or mirroring their anger. So I had to learn how to pause, respond with wisdom, and sometimes I even had to use ChatGPT to help me respond correctly. I was doing that. I had to use that with not only with my clients, but even with family, because I was used to my normal, and I had to break out of a habit of responding to people so quickly. Think about what you're saying and make sure you're not mirroring what they're feeling. You're only going to cause more arguments or cause more frustration. I stopped saying yes when I didn't have it. I stopped saying things that I couldn't deliver. If I don't have it, I don't have it, period. Because sometimes the answer is not always money. Sometimes God gives you an idea. Sometimes God he will just open up a door. And I had to stop being the fix-it person because it wasn't working. I had to go to God, who is my source. God is my source. And so if I don't have it, I go to God. Okay, well, how do I respond to this? And how do I react? How do I deal with this? Because my normal or my response wasn't good. And the Lord had to reteach me on what to say. And of course, like I said, I'm so grateful for ChatGPT, because for those of us who are used to responding a certain way, you have to break out of that habit. And I had a bad habit in the way that I responded to people, and I wanted to break it. I wanted to be a cycle breaker. I wanted to respond like I was supposed to respond. So again, if you want to become a cycle breaker and you're trying to break out of some habits, even in your response to people, and you don't want to mirror their anger or their frustration, and you have a normal way of responding to people, sometimes you got to use some other sources like ChatGPT and see how you can respond, because sometimes you don't know it. You don't know that you're angering that person or you're frustrating them. So in order to get out of your normal, sometimes you got to use another source, and you got to use that source to help practice what you're saying. There's times now that I don't even have to use ChatGPT to help me respond correctly. I got used to and learning how to respond. And then also I learned, and I had to speak to myself, that God is my source. And if God doesn't provide at that particular moment, it's okay, it's going to come. But maybe it's something else. And I always got to go to God and ask him, okay, what are you trying to say? What do you want me to do? How do I need to respond to this? It's always going back to God in prayer. It's always going back and saying, okay, I'm not going to respond in anxiety because it's not working. I'm not going to overpromise something that I can't do. And the more I did that, the more I understood, the more my anxiety went down. And I learned to wait. It's going to be there, but I have to wait, and I have to calm down, because I don't want to cause confusion. Remember, going to God in prayer, practicing how to respond to people. And sometimes, you got to go to something else to figure out how you can respond. Sometimes when you're angry, you got to use something else so that you respond correctly. Sometimes you got to walk away and not say anything and talk out your feelings and then respond in the correct way. God is your source. Respond correctly. Don't use anxiety. Remember, God is who He says you are. You are royalty. You are His child. Believe in God. Believe in God first.